Welcome to Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker, the crime critic, back with another episode for y'all today. In this episode, I'm going to be talking about something that might sound a little tricky, but I need you to follow me, okay? This episode is going to be about finding or seeing the blessing when nobody's offering you any help, okay? Now, that might sound weird, but there is a blessing in it. And let me tell you the story behind this episode. I was talking to my celly, right? And me and him, we kick it a lot, talking about different issues. And he was telling me about a relative of his that got out of prison a few years back and was struggling, man. I'm talking about going through it, living the life, of a person that's just getting out of prison, looking for a job and trying to put himself in a position to be better, be a better human being, the legal way, the right way, walking with the Most High, you know what I mean? So anyway, this brother was noticing how, friends that had been out on the streets for a long time, that had money, legally doing their thing, they wasn't really offering him the kind of support and help that he needed, right? So he found himself living in hotels, with his wife, struggling, but he didn't go back to the streets. He was doing whatever he needed to do to build his family, but he felt like, it would have been easier if he would have been receiving the help that he knew or thought he should have been getting from his friends and some family members, right? Even though, he was holding fast to his relationship with the Most High, he still felt some type of way, right? So when I'm listening to myself tell this story, I'm sitting here thinking to myself, like, wow, we proclaim this faith in the Most High, like we really just, digging what he's saying and all this and that. But I always ask myself, I'll say, okay, if God is not a God of circumstance, God is not a God of coincidence, right? God is very purposeful in what he does, right? And everything that he does, right? So I have to accept, listening to the story my seller was telling me, I have to accept that God was very purposeful in not allowing those friends and family members to help that young brother, right? Now, that might sound cruel, but it's really not. Let me tell you why. Now, hold on now, because you might not be ready for this. If God would have touched the heart, bam, of those people, they would have ran to him and offered what kind of help, whatever kind of help and assistance he needed. I believe that because God is purposeful. But he didn't want that. That's not what God wanted. God wanted that young man to cling to him and him alone. Don't go to nobody for help. Why would God do that? Why would the Most High put you in a position to make you struggle? Put you in a position to where you got to get turned down for jobs, you living in hotels, you sleeping in the back seat of your car. Why would God do something like that? Because he wants you to cling to him and him alone. Cling to him and him alone. And when you do that, things start to change. And that's what this young brother did. Now, he harbored some ill will towards, those individuals that didn't come to his aid like he thought they should have. And what I said to my seller was like, you need to talk to him, because what I'm receiving right now is that he shouldn't harbor any ill will towards them if he believes that God is a purposeful God. That's what God wanted. You see what I'm saying? I hope y'all following what I'm trying to say. If God wants somebody to intercede in your life to help you, don't you think he would make it happen? Don't you think he would make that happen? He would. And by not doing that, you struggling, you coming up, you learning that you have to depend on the Most High. You come up, you find employment or start your own business. You're able to get you a car. You're able to get you somewhere to live for you and your wife. You're doing all of these things, and you're doing it with the help of the Most High first. And that teaches you to depend on him more so than anybody else. And that's what we need to be doing, especially guys, well, everybody. But I'm focusing on a lot of the guys that I try to talk to that are out of the penitentiary or getting out of the penitentiary. Stop relying on other people, right? And stop having that belief in God, but not that obsessive belief. I have an obsessive belief in the Most High. And whatever is going on in my life, if it makes me feel uncomfortable, if it makes me feel happy, if it makes me feel sad, I know that I can rely on the Most High. I might not understand everything. I don't have to have all the answers to everything. Every question just doesn't have to be answered for me anymore. But I'm like, man, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I know what God's going to do. He got me. That doesn't mean the outcome is going to be what I want it to be. Doesn't mean that. It's going to be about what He wants. And that's why I think a lot of people miss it. We start to think about the things that we want and what will make our lives better. And I'm not saying that the Most High won't bless you with those things, right? But if you allow Him to guide and lead you where He wants you to be, obedient to Him, then all of those things that you're talking about are going to come to you. I have no doubt in that. I have no doubt in that. The reason I have no doubt in that is because I'm sitting in prison going on 35 calendar years, and I got a podcast and a YouTube page, and I'm doing it all legal. I ain't breaking no rules. Huh? Imagine that. Imagine that. So if you let's get back to him wishing that those people helped him and harboring some kind of ill will towards them. Don't do that. Don't harbor that ill will, because that ill will block you from receiving the fullness of the blessing. The fullness of the blessing. Because God don't want you to be mad at them. God is the one making this thing happen for you. He wants you to focus on being happy and joyful in Him and not angry and upset with them. You know who wants you to be angry and upset. You know who it is. We ain't even going to call His name. You feel what I'm saying? So focus on the part that's making you happy, keeping you peaceful and tranquil. Focus on that. Don't focus any of your energy or attention on the people that you think should be helping you that are not helping you. You don't know what they're going through. You don't know what they're going through. You're trying to say what they got and what they can do for you. You don't know what they got in the bank. And even if you did know what they have in the bank, you don't know what their plans are. They have a life they want to live too. Stop spending somebody else's money, or stop having somebody else, you know what I'm saying, in your plans for your success with their money. Come on now. We can't keep doing that. Get out there, stay focused, and get it the right way. And it's not going to be easy. When you start saying, man, I can't do this and all this and that, you doubting the Most High. When you start saying all them things, you want to go back to the streets anyway. But that's not what you should do. You know that. You say, well, I'm going to hustle a little bit. I'm going to get me some bread to get my money up, and then I'm going to go back to doing it the right way. Maybe you will, maybe you won't. I don't know. God is still with you now. He loving on you. He loving on you, but He don't want you to do it that way, man. He don't want you to do it that way. Have full faith and confidence in it. Have full faith and confidence in yourself, man. Got to believe in yourself. Believe in yourself, man. And look for those blessings, man. Even when somebody's not helping you, look for the blessings. Like, man, okay, this is an opportunity for me to get real strong with the Most High. Fall down on your face. And if you got to cry a little bit and it wants to come out, let it out. He going to hear you. Don't get upset at them, man. Don't get upset at the people that are not helping you. You don't know why they're not doing it. You feel me? Focus on your relationship with the Most High. With that, this has been another episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker, the Crime Critic, and I say peace, y'all.